Hey, what's up everyone on YouTube and Twitter? So over the past month, we've been watching this support area down here around 75K, as well as this resistance area around approximately 89 to 92K. And Bitcoin today broke through 89K, broke through 92K, and is currently trading above $93,000. And this came after it cleared the 43 SMA as well as the 55 SMA, which are also now turning up. So Bitcoin looks like it is making a bullish pivot. This downtrend that it has been in basically since the all-time high since January 22nd or 21st is now over with. This is a clear higher high. It got above this high, and the next high is up here around approximately $95,000. So Bitcoin is no longer in a downtrend. It's starting a new uptrend for the first time this year. So for Bitcoin, this now unlocks the opportunity to continue this multi-year uptrend that it has been in and push back to the all-time highs once again in the future. The main thing to watch here now is on the weekly time frame. We want to see a weekly close above this resistance area. This was around $92,000 approximately, this zone up here. If Bitcoin can close the weekly above that area, then there is a clear change in the structure, right? We broke down below this area, so reclaiming this would be a complete structural change for Bitcoin. So yes, the bull market is fully intact. And one of the best indicators that didn't fold during this whole entire pullback was the weekly super trend. If you look at the weekly super trend, this flashed green way back here in January of 2023. If you look during this uptrend, Bitcoin did test this a few times in the past. Back in the summer, it tested below it, but ended up holding. And then once again, it tested it here, but this ended up holding. So while a lot of indicators suggested for many analysts that there was a bear market, this indicator never flashed red and held the entire way up. So going forward, I will continue to use it. I will continue to update it on Twitter. I will continue to use it in the YouTube videos. It is probably by far the best indicator for this entire cycle so far. Now, if we take a look at the S&P 500, this was a support area we identified in the last video. This was down here around approximately 51.25. The S&P 500 pulled back to that area, but ended up bouncing today, which also helped Bitcoin bounce and break through the major resistance. So we are seeing Bitcoin kind of act differently here, right? Bitcoin is breaking major resistance. The S&P 500 is still below major resistance, but this isn't the first time we've seen Bitcoin do this. If you go back to 2020, S&P 500 continued downward here while Bitcoin moved up. And that's currently what we're seeing. We're seeing Bitcoin move up while the S&P 500 has trended downward. But Bitcoin typically finds a bottom before the stock market does. So this is kind of to be expected. We'll see if this ends up continuing over the longer term. But for now, this is something that we have seen in the past. But it is interesting nonetheless to see Bitcoin doing this currently, where it's breaking higher while the S&P 500 is kind of trending downward and seems to be under more pressure than Bitcoin currently. Bitcoin clearly is breaking major resistance at this point and probably wants to go back to the all-time highs. The S&P 500, on the other hand, really needs to reclaim this 5,500 area and then ultimately reclaim this 5779 area before it can even consider pushing back to the all-time highs. So Bitcoin probably closer to getting back to the all-time highs than the S&P 500 currently, based on the structure and what's above it and what's below it. Now, if you're interested, I do have Coinbase and Gemini referral links. They can be found in the description of the YouTube video. I also have Patreon, where I have a private Discord where I post updates very frequently, as well as videos during the week. So if you're interested in that, that can be found all in the YouTube description as well as my Twitter bio. So we will continue to watch Bitcoin. We will see if it can get this weekly close above this major resistance area. We'll see if it can push up to the next resistance, which is around 95,000. And if it's able to do that, it could probably make a push up to near $100,000 afterwards. So there's a lot going on. Things are definitely looking good right now for Bitcoin. Want to see how it closes on the weekly, but this daily candle, which just closed really, really good. So Bitcoin definitely has a lot going for it right now, especially for the bulls. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to follow on YouTube. I post all the videos there. I will see you guys in the next video.